Hey guys, it's Anne, and welcome back to my channel. And oh, I'm so sorry I've been gone for like the past month. And actually, if you haven't noticed, this is a little bit of a different setup. That's because I'm currently in the process of moving my room around and trying to make it look nice. And so like my old setup where my manga and like the chair and everything was and where I would film videos has been completely rearranged, completely redone. And my manga setup isn't ready yet. So I will be filming in front of my bed. Yep, this is my room and that's my bed. And yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so first of all, I feel a little bit weird talking about this, but I feel like I really want to, just because it ended and I've been reading it for a very long time. I'm talking about Killing Stalking. Like, I've been trying to only do like anime and manga recommendations that are very age-friendly, very, you know, everyone can enjoy it. And I feel like Killing Stalking is like over that boundary. Like, I don't think I could ever recommend this to someone under the age of 18, and I feel like a lot of guys would not be into this, but I loved Killing Stalking, so I really want to talk about it. And I read the ending last night. I decided to film today because I wanted to do it in natural sunlight, and yeah, I wanted it to soak in a little bit. And so I want to talk about how I feel about how it ended. Okay, before I talk about the ending, I feel like I really want to get into like the story. Like, if none of you guys know or have ever read Killing Stalking, I'm going to give you a quick summary of what it's like. It's about Yumbum and Sangwoo. Yumbum is like this kind of pathetic character. He was like bullied and raped and like treated very badly basically his entire life by his own family and the people around him, and he falls in love with this guy named Sangwoo because Sangwoo saved him or something when they were in the military. So Yumbum is like obsessed with Sangwoo, and he goes into his house. He like literally breaks into his house because he wants to know more about the one he loves, which is already a really creepy start to this relationship, as you can all agree. And then Sangwoo comes in and sees Yumbum there and like hits him in the back with a baseball bat. And yeah, he passes out, and then he smashes his feet with a hammer. Great start to the relationship. This is only like the first like chapter or two, so you can already tell this is not your traditional yaoi manga. It's actually really psychological. I mean, I would call it a whole bunch of different things. I'd call it like murder and psychological horror and actual horror and dismemberment and Stockholm syndrome. Like, this manga or manhwa is like crazy. You feel so many things while reading this, and it is absolutely done so well, so beautifully. The art is gorgeous. Kugi did a great job with this, but now that you have a little bit of gist of how this story goes. Oh yeah, Sting was a murderer, by the way, in case you didn't realize. So when Yumbum like goes into his like basement, that's where he sees like a kidnapped girl, and Sangwoo kills the girl in front of him, and yeah, that's like the first like chapter or two, I believe. So I don't think I've spoiled too much of it, hopefully. Okay, but now time for the real spoilers, the ending. I don't know what I wanted with the ending, to be honest. Like, when I knew the manga was like about to end, I had so many mixed emotions about this. Like, I kind of, part of me just like a little bit really wanted Sangwoo and Yumbum to, you know, live a happy, normal life. Like, I wanted them to be, you know, more stable and like move into like a nice place and maybe get married or something. You know, I kind of wanted them to be happy. Like, I don't know, it's just part of me wanted the best for them in the end, but also part of me also really wanted them to be caught. I really wanted justice to be served because they did kill a lot of innocent people. So I feel very bittersweet about this ending because, you know, just the way things happened. I'm glad it stayed kind of realistic in the way things happened. I'm glad it didn't take a supernatural route, or at least I didn't think it did. Another thing I really want to talk about is that the ending was very open to interpretation. Like, a few theories I have is that, one, either it was like basically what it was trying to show us, that Sangwoo somehow managed to escape from this burning house, and he's actually out there living his life, like, now that he is like considered dead, and Yumbum just passed away, And yeah, I think that's like my first theory. The second one I think is that Sang-woo actually did like survive the fire, and when Yoon-bum sees him walking in the street with a woman, he like runs after him and he doesn't get hit by a car, and they actually live happily ever after, which I really don't think that's how it happened, but I feel like that's the interpretation that can totally be applicable. The next interpretation I feel is that Yoon-bum is just like mental, and the person he like stalked and the house he went into wasn't actually Sang-woo's. Like, okay, he was very traumatized. Like, there was something going on with him, because like towards the end you could see that he couldn't see Sang-woo's face. Like every time he remembered him, like during the good times when they hugged and made love and all these things, you couldn't see Sang-woo's face. It was like blacked out. So I think something that could be an interpretation is that Yoon-bum imagined this relationship with Sang-woo and it was actually some other murder guy, and the guy he sees walking in the street with a woman is actually like the real Sang-woo, like the one that he was in love with. But so he's alive and isn't actually a killer. Like, that's what I think. Okay, my last interpretation is that Sang-woo just died, and Yoon-bum has been seeing him everywhere, has been imagining these things because he is having such a hard time with the idea that the person he was in love with and did all these crazy things with is now dead. So yeah, I think the last one is just that Sang was dead and Yoon-bum was mental and they both died, and I think it was pretty tragically. And yeah, I just want to talk about the ending though. I thought it was actually really well done. I'm glad that it was open for interpretation. I know a lot of people don't like endings that are open to interpretation, but I thought that was a great way to do it, just because whatever you were thinking, believing throughout the story, at least you can then have a little bit of closure with what you believe happened. Another thing I want to talk about though is I'm not very happy with the ending. For one reason, I feel like it was kind of rushed and a lot of things were not like... I feel like Kugi did not give us closure in a lot of the things. Like, who is Yoon-bum's mom? Like, how did Sang-woo's mom actually die? And like, are Yoon-bum and Sang-woo related? Because Sang-woo's mom looks just like Yoon-bum, and then we never saw Yoon-bum's mom, so I don't know. Like, why was his mom mental too? I'm curious about that. And no, I just feel like there were so many questions that like the audience really wanted answered and Kui didn't answer it. Well, you know, she hasn't done her afterword yet. That's coming up. So maybe she will answer some of these questions in the afterword, which I'm kind of excited to read, because I really know what was going through her head when she finished this, and when she was like coming up with these concepts. I feel bad for the police officer, honestly. Like, he didn't have to go through that. Like, if only people believed him that Sang-woo was crazy, he would not, you know, be like all scarred up now. And then he was trying so hard to be nice to Yoon-bum and try to help him, try to save him, and Yoon-bum just didn't want to be saved, and that's disappointing to me, because honestly it was Sang-woo who was corrupted. Yoon-bum was just already like mental and stuff, so of course he went along with it. I mean, his life was already pretty messed up to begin with. And yeah, I'm just kind of a little bit disappointed with the ending, and I also love the ending. Very mixed feelings. Gosh. But I guess in the ending you could really tell how much of like a coward Bum was, since he couldn't ask for the money to go see Sang-woo. And I'm kind of sad at the same time that Sang-woo and all we got to see of him was just his ashes. One more thing I want to touch up on. How did that freaking grandma kill Sang-woo? Like, this guy who like goes around and kills people and smashes them with hammers and stabs them and like buries them and does all this scary stuff. How is it that he was killed by a freaking grandmother in the hospital? Like, mind blown. I am so... You know what? That was the best way he could die. A grandma killed him. Great. That's amazing. Thank you, Kugi. Killing Stalking was a great manhwa. It was such a ride. It was such a thriller. My emotions were literally everywhere. And thank you for the art and the story. And thank you for killing Sang-woo by the hands of a grandma. That was just the greatest thing you could have done. And I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hearing my rant. And I will hopefully be back next week. If not, we will see. I'm still trying to situate my life with work and school and reorganizing my room because right now I feel like it looks like, excuse my language, crap. Anyway, see you guys soon. I'm Anne. Please comment and subscribe. And that's it. Bye!